Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Tanvi Taneja, and with me is Subha Kaul with the Midday News. The headlines. Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan says 300 districts in the country are unaffected by COVID-19. ICMR continues to scale up its testing facilities. People with very mild symptoms of coronavirus or pre-symptomatic can opt for home isolation, says the Health Ministry. UGC to issue guidelines for current and next academic session, including new schedule for exams postponed due to COVID-19. And BRICS foreign ministers to discuss impact of COVID-19 on international relations via video conference this evening. Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan has said 300 districts in the country are unaffected of COVID-19. Interacting with heads with autonomous institutes and public sector undertakings under Department of Biotechnology, DBT, through video conferencing today, Dr. Vardhan said another 300 districts have few cases and 129 districts have hotspots, and the government is focusing on these districts to contain the spread of coronavirus.
All over the country, we know that just over 300 districts are thoroughly unaffected by the disease. About 300 districts again are our non-hotspot districts where we have just very few cases, and roughly 129 districts are the ones where we have significant number of cases, say more than 15 or maybe slightly less than 15, which we call as hotspots. And these are the places where we are focusing our approach on with the cluster containment and disease outbreak.
He said no fresh case reported in 80 districts since the last 7 days, and in 47 districts, no case has been reported in the last 14 days. The minister, who also holds the portfolio of science and technology, said 39 districts have not reported a case since the last 21 days, and 17 districts have not reported a case for the last 28 days.
80 districts in India have not reported a fresh case since the last 7 days. 47 districts have not reported a case for the last 14 days. 39 districts have not reported a case for the last 21 days. And 17 districts have not reported a case for the last 28 days. So pre-lockdown, you know, our doubling rate of cases was around 3 days. But when I talk to you today, for the last 14 days, our doubling rate had been 8.7. And for the last 7 days, it had been 10.2. And today, for the last 3 days, when we calculate, it is roughly 10.9. So I think that's a very, very significant progress.
Dr. Harsh Vardhan said scientists are going to contribute a lot to the coronavirus warriors in the fight against COVID-19. He said scientists have made significant progress in development of indigenous antibody test kits and RT-PCR test kits. The minister said ICMR has done an exemplary job and ramped up its testing capabilities. He said DBT is supporting research on vaccine development, and it has come quite ahead in this direction. Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said that 7,16,733 samples of COVID-19 have been tested by the various government and private laboratories in the country so far. ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to the government and private laboratories. As of now, 283 government laboratories and 94 private laboratories chains have been given approval to conduct the test for COVID-19.
Health Ministry has issued guidelines for home isolation of people who either have very mild COVID-19 symptoms or are in the pre-symptomatic phase. Such patients with requisite self-isolation facility at their residence will now have the option for home isolation. In order to be eligible for home isolation, patients must have a caregiver at home to provide care on 24/7 basis. A communication link between the caregiver and hospital is a prerequisite for the entire duration of home isolation. The caregiver and all close contacts of such cases should take hydroxychloroquine prophylaxis as their protocol and as prescribed by the treating medical officer. They also need to download the Arogya Setu app on mobile. The patients must agree to monitor their health and regularly inform health status to the district surveillance officer for further follow-up by the surveillance teams. They are also required to fill in an undertaking on self-isolation and follow home quarantine guidelines. Immediate medical attention must be sought if serious signs or symptoms develop. These include difficulty in breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, mental confusion or inability to arouse, or developing bluish discoloration of lips or face. The home isolation will end when symptoms are clinically resolved and the surveillance medical officer certifies the patient to be free of infection after laboratory testing. As the nationwide lockdown continues with limited relaxations, the number of COVID-19 cases in the country stood at 29,435 today. Of the total number, 21,632 are active cases and 6,868 have been cured so far. A total of 934 deaths have been reported due to the virus. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, Health Ministry officials said that recovery rate of patients is improving and now it stood at 22.17%. Home Ministry officials said that under MGNREGA operations and construction are ongoing throughout the country, providing employment to agricultural and migrant labour during this period. She said more than 2 crore people have got employment under MGNREGA.
मनरेगा के तहत भी कार्यों ने गति पाई है. वाटर कंजर्वेशन और इरिगेशन जैसे लार्ज कम्युनिटी असेट्स पर भी मनरेगा के तहत काम शुरू हो गया है और 2 करोड़ से ज्यादा श्रमिकों को रोजगार प्राप्त हुआ है. सर्वे के अनुसार लगभग 60% फूड प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स ऑपरेशनल हो गई हैं. स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन्स में 2,825 इकाइयां और इसके अलावा 350 एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड यूनिट्स भी क्रियाशील हो चुकी हैं.
During the briefing, the chairman of the Empowered Group 5 on supply chain gave a presentation on the progress in supply chain and logistics of essential items. He pointed out that the prices of potato, onion and tomatoes are largely stable during the lockdown period.
If you look at prices of tomato, onion and potato, they have been largely stable during the lockdown. 1.5 crore लोगों को daily cooked meals दिया जा रहा है. So this has been a huge effort, a collaboration between government, between the NGOs, the private sector. If you look at supply of milk and LPG cylinders, this is almost the same as pre-lockdown levels. So there's been very little disruption. In fact, they have met all their targets.
Union Minister of Rural Development and Panchayatiraj Narendra Singh Tomar yesterday issued a detailed guideline of the Swamitva scheme aimed at providing people residing in rural parts with the right to document their residential properties. He also released a standard operating procedure regarding the e-Gram Swaraj Yojana platform and mobile app on this occasion. Both these schemes were inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi last Friday on the occasion of National Panchayatiraj Day. Speaking on the Swamitva scheme, Mr. Tomar said it would help in streamlining planning and revenue collection in rural areas and ensuring clarity on property rights. The pilot phase of the scheme will extend to 6 states, namely Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, covering approximately 1 lakh villages. In the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, food and nutritional care play a very important role for people to keep themselves fit and maintaining the immunity of the body. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Anupa Sidhu, Director of Department of Food and Nutrition, Lady Irwin College, New Delhi, said people should take fresh and well-cooked food and avoid junk food.
फ्रेशली कुक्ड फूड खाना है और इसमें कोई लोड नहीं होना चाहिए बैक्टीरिया या वायरस और फ्रिज में एज फार एज पॉसिबल अवॉइड करना चाहिए क्योंकि अगर कोई लोड होता है तो बहुत देर तक फ्रिज में वो रहता है. एंड जो भी कुक करे वो अपने आप को कवर करे और कवर करके कोई वायरल शेडिंग उस इंसान की नहीं होनी चाहिए. अगर वो कोविड पॉजिटिव नहीं भी है तो भी नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Union Health Ministry has said that recovered COVID-19 patients pose no risk to others. Addressing the media persons, a Health Ministry spokesperson said that there is no risk of transmission of novel coronavirus from recovered patients. He said, in fact, they can be a potential source of healing for others using the plasma therapy. The spokesperson said, getting infected by coronavirus is not a stigma and this issue should be addressed through an intensive campaign.
कभी कभी लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस या लैक ऑफ प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग के कारण हमारे मन में फियर या पैनिक घर कर लेता है और जो पॉजिटिव पेशेंट्स होते हैं या जो हमारे फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स काम कर रहे हैं, हम उनके साथ स्टिग्मा एसोसिएट करने लगते हैं। लेकिन हमें समझना होगा कि हमारी लड़ाई बीमारी के साथ है, ना कि बीमार व्यक्ति के साथ। इस स्टिग्मा के चलते हुए कई बार पेशेंट्स भी अपने आप को छुपाने की कोशिश करते हैं और ट्रीटमेंट लेने से कतराते हैं। इससे न केवल उस पेशेंट को हार्म होता है, उसकी फैमिली को हार्म होता है, बल्कि पूरी सोसाइटी को नुकसान होना संभव है। जरूरत है कि हम पेशेंट्स का साथ दें, उसके साथ खड़े हों और उसका सपोर्ट बने।
Procurement of wheat is progressing at a very fast pace in all major procuring states of the country. A quantity of 88.61 lakh metric tons wheat has already been procured for the central pool till 26th of this month. Ministry of Consumer Affairs in a statement said that going by the present pace of procurement, the target of procurement of 400 lakh metric ton for the season is likely to be achieved. Considering the looming threat of spread of COVID-19 virus, procurement is being undertaken after taking enough precautions and ensuring social distancing in the mandis. More from our correspondent. Moving on, an employee working at Niti Aayog has been detected positive with COVID-19. Niti Aayog said it is following all the due protocols necessary as per the Ministry of Health guidelines. The Niti Bhavan building has been sealed. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan says 300 districts in the country are unaffected by COVID-19. ICMR continues to scale up its testing facilities. People with very mild symptoms of coronavirus or pre-symptomatic can opt for home isolation, says Health Ministry. UGC to issue guidelines for current and next academic session, including new schedule for exams postponed due to COVID-19. And BRICS foreign ministers to discuss impact of COVID-19 on international relations via video conference this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
The University Grants Commission, UGC, is likely to issue guidelines next week for the current and next academic sessions, including new schedule for examinations postponed due to the outbreak of COVID-19. The Commission had formed 2 panels earlier in this regard, who submitted their reports on April 24th. The first panel, a 7-member body headed by Haryana Central University Vice-Chancellor R.C. Kohar, recommended that the new academic year can be initiated in the month of September. The panel also proposed that all the exams which have been delayed should be held in July. The exams of all the universities have been put on hold due to the lockdown imposed to combat the COVID-19 situation. The CBSE will conduct the remaining class 10th and 12th exams after the lockdown. This was disclosed by Union Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank yesterday. He said as soon as the national lockdown will be lifted and situation returns to normal, the government will announce the schedule for holding the CBSE examinations in the country. The minister was replying to a question while interacting with parents from across the country online. The HRD minister advised parents not to force children to study the entire day and let them study with a free mind. He said the CBSE will soon begin evaluation of papers which have already been conducted.
In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you our segment on fact-checking and mythbusters. Government has dismissed a newspaper report that it is going to cut LTC leave encashment, overtime allowance, medical bills and other facilities of employees in view of COVID-19 pandemic. In a tweet, Press Information Bureau clarified that there is no such proposal with the central government and the report is false and baseless. It said payment under these facilities will continue to be made as per the existing norms. In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. M.V. Padma, Head of Neurosciences Centre, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, has said that people need to stay home and stay safe and break the chain of transmission of COVID-19.
A virus has invaded our earth. It has invaded us. And there are zillion concerns. There are concerns about our survival, about food, about education, about career, about profession, about our movements. But these are questions for the first time in 3 generations that we are facing. But they're of relevance only if we are alive. To stay alive, stay home.
Dr. Neeraj Nishchal, Associate Professor Medicine in All India Institute of Medical Science, Delhi, tells why the lockdown is essential and why is it required to follow the advisories.
This is a new virus, so it has got a very big ego. It will not come to your house unless you go out and invite it. So stay home, stay safe.
For listening to other experts, tune in to our next bulletin. The News Service Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Narendra Saini, former Secretary General, Indian Medical Association, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. Repeat, 1800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444. I repeat, 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:25 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
Mumbai police have asked their personnel who are above 55 years of age and are having some pre-existing ailment to go on leave in a bid to protect them from the coronavirus infection. So far, at least 107 police personnel, including 20 officers, have tested positive for coronavirus across Maharashtra, and most of them are from the Mumbai police force. Our Mumbai correspondent has more.
The move comes after COVID-19 claimed lives of 3 Mumbai police personnel in the last 3 days. All 3 were above the age of 50. Police has said that it was because of their age that these police personnel are at a higher risk and therefore they have been allowed to go on leave during this lockdown period. Meanwhile, the state government has decided to send 100 buses to Kota in Rajasthan to bring back nearly 2,000 students stranded there due to the lockdown. The decision was taken following indications that the lockdown may be extended in some of the major cities where the coronavirus situation is yet to get under control. A MSRTC official said necessary communication has been done with the governments of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh as the buses will be passing through these 2 states. On return from Kota, the students and their parents will undergo a medical checkup followed by a mandatory 14-day home quarantine. Sonali Ghadiyar Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Madhya Pradesh, a fine of 1,000 rupees will be imposed now for spitting in public places in the state. The state government has banned spitting on public places in the urban areas of the state to control the outbreak of corona infection. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also appealed people not to spit in public places.
Principal Secretary Urban Development Sanjay Dubey informed that COVID-19 has been notified as an infectious disease and epidemic under Madhya Pradesh Public Health Act. So any person who is found spitting in a public place will face a fine of ₹1,000. The commissioners of the local municipal bodies and the chief municipal officials have been authorized to strictly implement the order. Meanwhile, total number of COVID-19 cases has gone up to 2,330 in the state. 357 patients have been cured and discharged from the various hospitals, while 110 patients died so far. Indore has the hot spot of COVID-19 where the total number of cases has gone up to 1,372. Bhopal is in the second place with 428 corona positive cases. 641 containment areas have been identified in the state to effectively prevent corona infection. Apart from that, 4,000 teams are going door to door to check the possible infection. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Rajasthan, 766 persons have been recorded for COVID-19 in the state so far. The number of COVID-19 infected persons has gone up to 2,328 in the state, with 66 new persons found positive today. Meanwhile, the work of sending back students who take coaching in the state's coaching hub Kota to their home states is continuously going on. We have a report.
According to an estimate, about 50,000 students of all over the country are taking medical and engineering coaching in various coaching institutes of Kota. Out of these students, 23,000 students of 9 states have been sent back to their home state who stranded due to lockdown. Divisional Commissioner of Kota, Ellen Soni, told AIR that talks continues with various state governments regarding sending back about 20,000 students to their respective states. Mr. Soni told that safety standards are being followed throughout during this process. Maharashtra has decided to send 100 buses to Kota to take back students. Around 2,700 students have also been sent to their districts of the state by the administration. Meanwhile, students taking coaching in Jaipur are also being sent to their home districts. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
After the Home Ministry's relaxations allowing opening of standalone and neighbourhood shops, the national capital is witnessing opening of such shops as the information trickles down to people. Apart from shops of daily essentials and pharmaceuticals, the guidelines paved way for opening of other shops including of hardware, clothing and electricals. However, no relaxation regarding opening of neighbourhood shops in containment zones have been given. Saloons, barber shops, restaurants and all other shops which are not engaged in sale of goods are also shut as per the guidelines.
Banks in Poonch are witnessing rush of customers these days. Farmers whose accounts have been credited with 2,000 rupees each under PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana and women whose accounts are credited with money for purchase of LPG cylinders under Prime Minister's Ujjwala scheme are withdrawing the money. They expressed happiness.
नाम मोहम्मद अकरम है और जुलास का रहने वाला हूँ। तो अभी जो पैसा पाइए हमको मिल रहा है और मोदी जी का बड़ा शुक्रिया है कि इस मौसम में और इस सीजन में हमारी फसल की कटाई है और जैसे मक्की की बिजाई आ गई, अब उसमें खेती बाड़ी में काम करने की उन्होंने परमिशन दे दी। मेरा नाम अल्ताफ हुसैन है, मैं पूंछ का जुलास का रहने वाला हूँ। मैं मोदी जी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि जो आज उन्होंने हमारे अकाउंट में 2-2 हजार रुपया डाला है। हम गरीबों का, किसानों का बहुत बड़ा फायदा है इसमें।
210 crore rupees agri and horticulture products produced by Assam farmers sold within and outside the state during lockdown period. Official sources said that agriculture and horticulture departments have sent vegetables and fruits to neighbouring states during lockdown. 3 metric tons vegetables sent to Manipur yesterday from Guwahati, and apart from Manipur, vegetables and horticulture items have also been sent to Meghalaya, Mizoram, West Bengal, Tripura, Rajasthan, among others. Here is a report.
Assam has sent vegetables and fruits to Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, West Bengal, Tripura, Rajasthan, Bihar and UP, among others, during lockdown period. 113 crore rupees products have been sold so far within Assam and 97 crore rupees vegetable and horticultural products sent to other states. Agriculture department is facilitating the farmers to get their products sold during lockdown. The department has also set up a control room in Guwahati to help farmers in selling their products. The control room number is 0361 233 2215. Manas Pratim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
The traditional Siddha and Unani medicine department of Tamil Nadu has started implementing intensive immunity strengthening measures against the background of COVID-19 pandemic. The department is popularizing the distribution of herbal drinks containing immune-building herbs in various parts of the state. The health drink is expected to increase the general health of people also, according to Dr. Kamaraj, Senior Siddha Medical Officer, Trichy. In Andaman and Nicobar, 4 cases of COVID-19 recovered today, and now the total number of positive cases stood at 18. All the patients admitted to the G.B. Pant Hospital, Port Blair, are stable, health department stated. No positive case appeared during the last 2 days. Till now, a total of 3,097 samples were sent for testing. Continuous monitoring and contact tracing are being done by the local authorities.
In Kargil, Ladakh, after the declaration of 2 new COVID-19 positive cases from Sangku, the total number of active cases rise to 3 now. Now Ladakh has total 6 COVID-19 active positive cases. After receiving results of samples, Kargil Deputy Commissioner Basiur Haq Chaudhary informed through a tweet about the 2 new cases. We have a report.
After receiving results of samples, Kargil Deputy Commissioner Bashirul Haq Chaudhary informed through a tweet about the 2 new cases in the district. After declaring Kargil a COVID-19 active positive case-free on 22nd of April, 3 samples have been tested positive in the district. The 2 new cases are from Sanko, from where the first positive case of Kargil was found, and the place is already declared containment zone. The district administration has also contained Twina village just adjacent to Sanko, from where the new positive case is detected. In the meantime, after initial resistance in Leh district, the health department is receiving all cooperation from Shushat Yokma village in sample collection. Today, 143 samples are collected for testing. With Ramesh Chandra in Leh, this is Anad Ali from Kargil.
Odisha Chief Minister Naveen has announced an ex gratia of 15 lakh rupees to the family members of the working journalists who die of COVID-19 infection while performing their duties. A statement released by Chief Minister's office said the journalists are sincerely carrying out their responsibility by creating awareness about the virus. If a working journalist dies of the virus, the state government will provide 15 lakh rupees ex gratia to the kin. Earlier, the Chief Minister had announced an assistance of 50 lakh rupees for the family members of medical healthcare officials and members of support services who died during the battle against COVID-19. The state will treat them as martyrs and accord them a state funeral. In Punjab, stranded pilgrims from Nanded as well as students from Rajasthan continued to reach home. Our correspondent reports as many as 467 pilgrims reached Bathinda last evening in 13 Punjab government buses from Nanded. A government spokesman said another lot of buses has started leaving for Nanded to bring back more pilgrims. Meanwhile, a spokesperson of the Chief Minister's office said that 152 students stranded in Kota have been brought back to Punjab in specially hired buses up to Bathinda, from where they had been transported to their respective destinations through state government buses. India will participate in a key meeting of the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa BRICS foreign ministers today to discuss the impact of COVID-19 on international relations, concerted efforts to address global challenges, and deepening BRICS cooperation. The meeting, to be held by the rotating chair Russia, will be convened via video conference. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will join his counterparts from the BRICS nations as it goes into a major brainstorming session to forge a joint response to counter the COVID-19 pandemic. The ministerial video conference hosted by Russia, the current rotating head of BRICS, is also expected to crystal ball the post-COVID-19 global order and the role of the emerging economies in shaping it. World Health Organization has warned that the coronavirus pandemic is yet far from over and is still disrupting normal health services, especially for children in the poorest countries. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, in a virtual news conference in Geneva, expressed concern about rising number of cases and deaths in Africa, Eastern Europe, Latin America and some Asian countries, even as the numbers flatten or decline in some wealthier nations. He told that a second wave of infections could be prevented with the right actions. Tedros expressed concern that the health of children was being threatened by the impact of coronavirus emergency on vaccination programs for other diseases. Shortages of vaccines against other diseases are being reported in 21 countries as a result of border restrictions and disruptions to travel caused by the coronavirus pandemic. United Kingdom's Finance Minister Rishi Sunak has unveiled a 100% state-backed bounceback loan scheme for the small businesses to help them tide through the coronavirus pandemic lockdown. The Indian origin UK Chancellor told the House of Commons yesterday that the new fast-track finance scheme would help bolster the existing package of support available to the crisis-hit UK businesses. Under the scheme, qualifying small businesses can apply online to borrow between £2,000 and £50,000 as interest-free loans for the first 12 months. And now, before we end the bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan says 300 districts in the country are unaffected by COVID-19. ICMR continues to scale up its testing facilities. people with very mild symptoms of coronavirus or pre-symptomatic can opt for home isolation, says Health Ministry. UGC to issue guidelines for current and next academic session, including new schedule for exams postponed due to COVID-19. And BRICS foreign ministers to discuss impact of COVID-19 on international relations via video conference this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.